Social media apps allow users to spread information quickly and effectively across vast audiences. But for some young people, TikTok is becoming an app that encourages self-diagnosing habits, where teenagers are incorrectly identifying with conditions like Tourette syndrome. COVID-19 pandemic restrictions led to everyone spending more time on their personal devices, wasting away much of 2020 and 2021 liking, sharing, and commenting. Today's teenagers are no stranger to how easily TikTok can turn into a black hole of endless scrolling. After pandemic restrictions were lifted, psychiatric professionals started seeing teens suggesting they had Tourette syndrome or tic disorder. Clinical psychologist Jen Ference-Belholm used to work at the Tourette's and Pediatric Movement Disorder Clinic in Calgary.
But I was talking with my colleagues closely, and there was a huge increase in referrals for functional tic-like behaviors and broader too, like more at a global level. This was happening like globally. It wasn't just in Calgary.
Stumped at the reason for the sudden surge in Tourette and tic referrals, Ference-Belholm thinks that information shared on the TikTok platform could be helping teens to identify the possibility of them having a functional neurological condition, bringing them to see a psychologist for confirmation.
Don't know what to make of it other than like, this is the thing that's changed is social media, and there's a lot more information around it.
Could this be evidence of a digitally enforced sociogenic illness? A Harvard Medical School study concluded that sociogenic illness happens when a group of people experience physical or psychiatric symptoms that are identical to one another. Yet, these symptoms can't be explained medically, meaning there is no real health concern. Whether teens accurately represent symptoms of functional neurological conditions, or if it's possible evidence of a new kind of sociogenic illness, they're surely doing one thing: self-diagnosing.
When it comes to self-diagnosis, we all do it all the time. You know, like we have a rash on our skin, for example, or something like that. Our instinct to say, what is going on there? What's happening?
McDonald credits Tourette syndrome's popularity among today's teens to TikTok's user-friendly medium that allows for easy communication.
It gives people a platform to share their experiences. And once those experiences are out there, people start to perhaps identify with that experience, saying, hey, that sounds like me. Where it becomes problematic is where you're trying to identify things that may or may not actually exist that are really meant to be diagnosed by people who follow a set procedure.
Believed to be passed genetically, Tourette syndrome and tic disorder are not learned conditions. The two conditions are different from one another, but those with either condition experience tics to a varying degree. People with Tourette syndrome have both verbal and motor tics, whereas people with tic disorder have just verbal or just motor tics.
So the simple ones would be like eye blinking, shoulder shrugging, throat clearing, and complex ones might be different movements like and sequences of events of different tics sort of like put together, words and phrases that are sort of stringed together.
McDonald advises parents and guardians to offer their teens opportunities for non-judgmental communication so they feel safe when sharing questions or concerns about mental health topics.